When AMCI Testing began releasing videos on Tesla full self-driving a few years ago, the big news from our independent test results was that FSD was both unsafe and unreliable. We documented many of FSD's potentially dangerous behaviors during testing in California and New York City, results from which were picked up by many major news organizations, including CNN and the New York Times. Now we're back with test results on Tesla's latest version, 14.3.4. And again, the news is big. FSD has made major strides. In fact, after hundreds and hundreds of miles of testing, we have not needed to make a single safety-related intervention. If this trend continues, Tesla's camera-only system may eventually be deemed revolutionary, but for the moment, an important caveat. So far, we have only been able to test in fair weather. Here are a few examples of where they're at and what's still unresolved. To start, let's be frank. Reliably safe and predictable operation in all traffic and road conditions is the D- requirement for autonomous driving. It may be an insanely complex technical challenge, but it's still the bare minimum that's necessary for a passing grade. At least in the good weather when we've been testing it, Tesla FSD Supervised has very nearly achieved this standard.
I think only the top 10% of drivers could equal its smoothness in these kind of circumstances.
But a robotaxi is different than a driving assistant. It has to take you to a precise destination. This last part, the integration of FSD with Tesla's less than stellar navigation, is where the system currently falls short. Take, for instance, this trip where FSD was navigating to the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, one of the region's most visited attractions.
It's going to take us into the service entrance, which is not the right entrance. Let's see what it does here. That's strange.
This is how Apple Maps would have routed to the same destination, accurately choosing the visitor entrance. And in a number of other instances, FSD through Tesla navigation simply chose the wrong spot. Here we're navigating to a Soapy Joe's car wash, accessible through two clearly signed driveways. FSD passes those entrances, backing into a spot in an adjacent parking lot. Again, Apple Maps has no issue indicating both of the correct street entrances. Yet, giving credit where credit is due, there's a great deal to be said for what Tesla's hard-working engineers have achieved with FSD Supervised. For instance, the system does keep a 360-degree watch on the car's surroundings in a way most drivers would not. Here, a moment's inattention by a driver on our left had their car moving slightly toward us, visible both on camera and on FSD's screen. FSD immediately moved to the right side of our lane, until the vehicle next to us moved back toward its left. In fact, now, in almost every possible scenario, this latest version of FSD Supervised demonstrates a sophisticated level of decision-making that is often shocking. FSD proceeds with almost unerring confidence. But as some recent accidents have shown, it isn't infallible, and that automated confidence it projects will lead almost any driver to complacent relaxation, to the point that supervision is a distant thought. If you drive with FSD long enough, and without your hands and feet in place to take immediate action, you may well change your life or the lives of others. So as our test results have shown, 14.3.4 is an important step forward, perhaps so much so that user complacency will become a bigger and bigger issue. System performance in poor weather and bad traction are certainly significant question marks requiring more testing. And the navigational data feeding FSD still seems inferior to other mapping options out there. Please stay tuned as AMCI Testing continues to put FSD through more and more challenging scenarios.